Hello everyone, and welcome to the TechHub.Training Excel solution for the Fred's Fairly Reliable Challenge. Now for this challenge, we've been asked specifically to work in conditional formatting. There might be more efficient ways to perform this analysis, but we'll go ahead and stick with conditional formatting tools. The first thing that we've been asked to do is highlight every other row, and we'll do this by creating a new rule. And we'll make a formula. We'll use the mod function. If you haven't used this one before, it basically just helps to create a Boolean for us. So we're going to take the row number, make sure it's not absolute, divide that by 2. And then if the remainder is 0, then we're going to give it a fill just with this light gray color. And if it does have a remainder, then it will be left with no fill. Perfect. The next thing that we're going to do is hone in on the popularity of some of these cars. So we've been asked to highlight the top 10 items in light green. We're also going to put a border around the top car. You can see some of these presets are there. We're going to go ahead and go to a custom format for the border. And we're going to select a dark blue here. Make sure it's outlined. And that will give us that border around the top most popular. We're going to go ahead and do the same thing, but for the bottom 5. So we'll change that to 5. Great. And for the worst selling car, so the bottom 1, we're going to come in. I guess we could use that red border, but just for kicks, we'll come in here. We'll choose this dark red right here and put a border around it. And you'll see as we come down our data, there's the Ford Explorer with the most popular. It's got the border around it there. And then, of course, we've got our Toyota Prius, worst selling car. The next thing that we've been asked to do is look at cars that have been the most lucrative. And so we'll look at the dealership margin column here. We're going to use the icon sets tool. That'll have our check, exclamation point, and X. You'll notice if you were to go through, we've got green checks where we don't really want them. So we need to go through and manage this rule and edit the icon set here. And we're going to change these to numbers just because that's the data that we gave us, but it gives you the option there. And the case specifies that we need 35% as our upper bound and 20% as our lower bound. After we do this, you'll notice it's a lot more sparse for cars that are actually going to be lucrative, giving the margin that we want. The next thing that we need to do is come over to fuel efficiency, and we'll just come to color scales here. And I think it specifies the blue, white, red color scale, so we'll do that. You'll notice the worst miles per gallon are going to be red, whereas some of the more fuel efficient cars are going to have this blue here. The last thing that we need to do is we're going to highlight each car that meets the top 3 categories. And so we're going to come in here, we'll create a new rule, use a formula, and we'll just do the AND function. And we'll come up here. Let's see. So if our popularity, and we're going to make sure that the column is absolute but the row is not here. And if that's going to be greater than, if you were to go through, you'd see the lowest was the number 10 was right around 180,000, so we'll do that. Then we'll come here to our margin, and we want that to be greater than or equal to 0.35. We'll make sure that the column is absolute there as well. And then we'll make sure that this is greater than, this is our next conditional. We'll make sure that this is greater than or equal to 27. Oops. And we'll do this obnoxious yellow. And this will hopefully highlight our cars for us. Come down and see. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the Corolla, the Camry, the Honda Accord, Ford Explorer, and Ford Taurus are going to be our recommendations to Tom and Fred.